For the Cowboys, there were no last-minute flips or surprise additions. The only surprise at OSU's press conference was Coach Gundy's Big Daddy mug. No matter what arena Forte's in, he still has the same mindset. The goal's 15 feet away and 10 feet tall. Vincent Taylor, he's had 2 option pitches this season. As entertaining as that is for football fans to watch, women of all ages had the chance to be an OSU Cowboy football player for the day. They are officially the Big 12 wrestling champions. The Cowboys also set a record for having all 10 Cowboys in the finals. It's your first year here at OSU, but you've had time to settle into Stillwater. How was that transition for you, and what do you think the most challenging part for the players who are having a new coach? Sophomore Devon Dillard could be considered a rookie too because he didn't play at all last season. This year under head coach Brad Underwood, he's become a focal point for the Cowboys' attack. How is it working with student athletes? I know they can be a handful. I mean, is it more stressful or entertainment when you're working with them? As a kid, Ben Grogan got into kicking because he didn't want to be in PE class. Now Grogan is leaving Oklahoma State as the all-time leading scorer with 433 points.
And Ben Grogan curls it in and now stands on top of the mountain in Oklahoma State history. More points than anyone in Cowboy football history.
But it was a long 4 years for Grogan. When Ben got to college, he kicked almost 50 times a day. So by the end of his sophomore year, his right hip was almost torn up. Grogan had a hip labral injury and had surgery immediately following the season. After 6 months of daily physical therapy and rehab, Grogan was ready to go again. But then quickly into the 2015 season, his left hip started hurting.
Got bad enough during junior season to where I noticed it hurting and got worse as the season went on. But I didn't want to have surgery again, so I kind of just let it be.
At the beginning of March, Grogan ended up having the exact same surgery, but this time on his left hip. Frustrated at first on why the exact same injury would happen again, he soon learned it was a genetic bone issue.
So it makes sense now because it was like a time bomb. My right one just went first because I obviously kick with my right.
But this time, he didn't have as long for rehab.
Obviously, you have a protective phase following the surgery that lasts about 6 weeks.
Making it back just in time for his senior year, but never fully feeling 100%, Grogan contemplated on if he should try to make it in the NFL. And he just recently made his decision.
I was just going to see how Pro Day went, and I kicked better than I expected at Pro Day. So knowing that and getting feedback from the scouts there and now getting phone calls and stuff from coaches, that kind of made my decision.
Grogan now has to wait to the draft to see if he gets any calls from coaches. But for now, he will continue to do his rehab on his hips to get them even stronger and work on his kicking fundamentals. For the Poke Report, I'm Austyn Ivan. The highlight of homecoming in hoops was OSU's softball coach Kenny Gajewski wrestling John Smith, OSU's wrestling coach. Gajewski made a bet with his team that if they got hit by 50 pitches this season, he would wrestle Smith. When a ball's coming at you, it's easy to want to dodge or get out of the way. But the Oklahoma State softball team did something that their coach thought they couldn't do as they passed his goal and got hit by 53 pitches this season.
I just wanted to create a mentality of toughness, and getting hit by a pitch is not, it's not easy. It hurts. The ball is hard. These kids throw hard, and it hurts. But it is a big momentum shifter.
Gajewski was not the only one who thought his goal would be hard to reach.
No, it's funny because he was always getting mad at us, like, stop getting out of the way, and we're like, okay. So we were at like 13 when he made the little goal, and we were all kind of like, but then we kept getting closer, and once it was like 3 away, we really were like, wait, we really have this. So it's pretty exciting when we got it done.
At the match, Gajewski put up a pretty good fight against an Olympic wrestler. Using his size as an advantage, he even picked up Smith and spun him around at one point.
Honestly, I thought it was a lot better than it was going to be. I thought John Smith was going to have it easily, and he looked like he kind of gave it competition, which is good.
Although Gajewski might not have won the match, that's not what it was about for him.
If this helps our team, I'm all good. So I'm just really proud of them. I truly am. These kids work so hard, and this meant a lot to them.
I would say so. It improved their on-base percentage. So anytime you're on base, that means you have a chance or an opportunity to score. You heard Coach Gajewski say getting hit by a pitch isn't easy. The ball's coming at you fast. It hurts. But he's trying to create a mentality of toughness, and the girls really bought into that. They beat his original goal of 50, and they ended with 53 this season. Like you said, it's his second year here. So last year, he took the Cowgirls to the NCAA tournament, a place the Cowgirls have not been to since 2011. Before OSU, Gajewski was at Florida for 3 years. 2 of those years, he won the NCAA tournament, so he comes from a winning program. He knows what it takes to compete and win at a high level, and he's bringing that to Stillwater. I would say last year was a successful season for OSU, and the future looks bright for the Cowgirls. They have a lot of starters that are returning, plus they're adding some talented freshmen and junior college players into the starting lineup, so there's a lot to be optimistic about for Cowgirl softball. Oklahoma State Wrestling claimed its 51st conference title last week in the Big 12 tournament with an absolutely dominant performance from all the Cowboys. OSU had all 10 wrestlers make it to the finals, which marked the first time in conference history for any school to do. And they had 8 of them win individual conference titles. With all the success the Cowboys are having on the mat, it's easy for them to solely focus on the NCAA tournament coming up so they can win another national championship. But that's not the only thing that's important to them.
I thank you that you are the most powerful, the only true God, that you sent Jesus Christ to die on the cross for our sins.
Senior Nolan Boyd leads a weekly Bible study for his team.
It's something we need, and we need to get the fellowship, and we need to pour a little bit of truth into each and every guy every week, and we need to get truth poured into us.
The team puts in a lot of hard work on the mats, but when they meet up for the Bible study, it is a much more peaceful setting.
Like coming in here and being able to talk about something that is all good news, and like to have that is so important, and I feel like without it, it would be really stressful, and it'd be a lot harder of a season.
The Cowboys are one of the most historic wrestling programs in the country and have produced over 400 All-Americans. But they all still know there is more to life than just the sport.
Wrestling isn't everything, and honestly, it can be taken from you at any second. We've seen it with broken foots and torn ACLs, and we just want to make sure that if somebody does lose something that is super important to them, like wrestling or a family member, that they know what truly matters and they know where they'll be when they die.
For the Poke Report, I'm Austyn Ivan. The skills, experience, and faith will guide the OSU wrestling team on to St. Louis next weekend for the NCAA championship. The bracket was released yesterday, and the Cowboys come in ranked number 2